Let's change the conversation. Welcome to Change the Conversation with the Hopefulist. My name is Wendy McClure, and it's time we had a conversation about living in a patriarchy and how that affects our lives. Together, we can make a difference and change the conversation. Hello, and welcome back to Change the Conversation with me, Wendy McClure. I appreciate you being here. Now, the whole point of this podcast is to point out how this society has treated women, continues to treat women, and put all of the implication and all of the blame onto the woman while taking it off of men. So I wanted to start out by reading this quote by Jackson Katz. It says, "We talk about how many women were raped last year, not how many men raped women. We talk about how many girls in a school district were harassed last year, not about how many boys harassed girls. We talk about how many teenage girls in the state of Texas got pregnant last year, rather than how many boys and men impregnated teenage girls." So you can see how the use of passive voice has political effect. It shifts the focus off of men and boys and onto girls and women. Even the term violence against women is problematic. It's a passive construction. There's no active agent in the sentence. It's just a bad thing that happens to women. But when you look at that term, violence against women, nobody's doing it to them. It just happens to them. Men aren't even a part of it. So just in those few examples, like it's very problematic, and that's the word that Joel used. And I think that it's very representative of what is actually going on. Let's talk about it in a little bit of further detail, or put them all together. Let's talk about, and I am sure that I am missing a lot, but, as mentioned in the quote, women get pregnant. That's what we say. Wendy got pregnant. So-and-so got pregnant. No, they're impregnated. Somebody is impregnating them. And somewhere along the line, somebody has determined that it's more plausible, more convenient for men to be left out of that conversation. Violence against women. Yep, that's right. That means men are raping women most of the time. That's what it means. What about battered women? Domestic violence. Why are we not calling them wife beaters or woman beaters, or men who beat their wives, men who beat women? Domestic violence. I mean, it's just so, neutral. Domestic violence. When there is domestic violence, when somebody is living with a man who beats the women in his life, the woman is often asked, why doesn't she leave? And why is the question never, why is he beating her? Isn't that the better question? Single moms. And we use that in such a derogatory way. They came from a single mother household. Shouldn't the term be absentee father? Because the father's the one that's not there. The woman is the one that's there and doing everything that both a mother and a father should do. But yet somehow we're degrading that position and talking about that like it's a bad thing. That out of the two people, the one who stayed to do all of the work of both people, that's the one that we're going to degrade. Think about this stuff. It makes absolutely no sense. And we have just taken it as it is for so long because that's what we were conditioned to do. And we were conditioned to not think about it, to not question it. Let's see, rape victims. What was she wearing? What was she drinking? Was she flirting with him? One of the reasons that women don't report sexual crimes is because they don't want to be drugged through the ringer. I mean, they act like the woman who is the victim is on trial during these court cases. as if men can't control themselves around a woman that is scantily clad. And if that were the case, if men truly could not control themselves, well, there's a couple of ways I could go here, but let's start with this one. If men truly could not control themselves around women who were showing a lot of skin and a lot of their body, wouldn't there be rapes on the beach every single day? Really? Wouldn't there be? I mean, because you've seen the bathing suits, right? Why is there not constant rapes if men can't control themselves around a woman that's showing a lot of her body? And if men truly couldn't control themselves around women, should they really be the leaders, the men in positions of power to make decisions when, they're trying to decide if we're going to bomb a country, and then a woman goes by and he sees her shoulder and all of a sudden he can't concentrate anymore? That doesn't sound like somebody who should be in power to me. Successful women. What do we often say about successful women? Now, this doesn't happen as much as it did in my time growing up, but I know some of you will remember. Well, she must have slept her way to the top. Well, you know what she was doing to get that promotion and to get that raise. Even just, all of Hollywood and the whole casting couch thing. It was very common and accepted that if a woman wanted a part in a movie, she would have to sleep with the producer, the director, whoever it was. I don't know. We're encouraged to hide anything that has to do with our periods because it makes men uncomfortable. Yeah, they don't like it. They don't like to hear about our periods. They don't like it. They don't want to know anything that has to do with down there unless it's what they want to do with it. Right? Like they're perfectly fine to get down there and do what they want to do. But then from that point on, you're supposed to act like it doesn't exist. I mean, and why are we walking around hiding our tampons and embarrassed to buy them at the drugstore or wherever you're buying them? I got to a point where I didn't, but when I was young, I did. I was embarrassed. Just like people are embarrassed to buy condoms, but having a period is a natural bodily function that half the population has once a month for like 30 to 40 years. So why is this all shrouded in shame? Why is it that men can't deal with the fact that we have it? I mean, we don't hide our toilet paper purchases, do we? No, because men need toilet paper, and they're not embarrassed or shamed of the fact that they have to go number two. In fact, they usually announce it to everybody. Well, I'm taking it in the paper or taking it in a magazine. I'll be in there for a while, so if anybody needs to get in there, get in there. This is back when we used to have just one bathroom. Again, aging myself here. They convince us that our worth is in our appearance and that youth is what they want. Once you hit 30, well, you're damaged goods at that point, that nobody really is going to want you anymore. They tell us all day, every day, how we are not good enough. All the commercials telling us toothpaste that make our teeth whiter, makeup to make ourselves look better, hair care and hairstyling. We have to make it look a certain way in order to be acceptable. We have to multitask constantly. We have to make sure everything's getting done at work, everything's getting done at home, everything's taken care of with the kids. What else? We're told we can do it all. We're told we can do it all. We can have it all. And when we can't, because nobody can, we feel defeated. We feel like a loser. We're supposed to have perfect kids that don't act up. We're supposed to make full dinners, homemade dinners every night for the whole family, in spite of the fact that we're working a 9-to-5 job. So every time you open up the convenience food or stop at the takeout on the way home, you feel like you've once again lost, like you have failed again. And then don't forget, before you go to bed at night, you have to put the wrinkle cream on and the serum to get rid of the dark spots. And you have to put the night cream on your face. You have to make sure that you have your appointments done to get your hair color taken care of. Make sure that your nails are done. I mean, it's just endless. It is endless, endless, endless. And it's been all of these decades that nobody's even attempted to make a change to the conversations that we have each and every day. I mean, I'm sure that some people have talked about it, but they have been silenced because they don't like people who speak the truth. They tend to try to get those people to be shunned so that they will shut up, and so that it also serves an example to other people that if you continue to speak up and speak out, that you also will be shunned. But, some people don't fall for that trick anymore. So that's going to be a problem for society, the society that thrives on the patriarchy and having men in a higher position just in the language that we use every single day. I want you to think about the 3 R's as we move forward in life from this point on. Recognize how the language is skewed from taking the focus off of men and putting it on the women. Oh, there's one that I forgot. This is one of my favorites. The nagging wife. The nagging wife. You know what a nagging wife is? It's actually a woman that's had to ask her husband 5, 6, 7 times to do one certain task. That's what a nagging wife is. So they've somehow even managed to make their uselessness, their incompetence, and their failure to do anything, their laziness, and made us look bad for that too. Because again, I wouldn't have to be a nagging wife if I asked you to take out the trash and you took out the trash. I'm only a nagging wife because I've asked you 4 times to take out the trash and it's still full. And we've just accepted all of this stuff. We've just accepted it. And it's over. I will be shouting all of this from the rooftops until I die. Because this is not a world for women to live in. This is not a world that is free for us. We can't even walk at night. Because God forbid we get attacked, then we're told we were asking for it. What are you doing out walking alone at night? Well, if I can't walk alone at night, then I'm not truly free, am I? If I can't leave my house after dark and take a walk down my block, I'm not free. I'm not free. But nobody looks at it that way. Men are the ones doing the raping and the stealing and all of the up to no goodness since, the fall of darkness each and every day. And women are we are the ones that have to curtail and change our behavior in order to keep us safe. It's insane. And we've just accepted it all this time. So moving forward, I want you to remember the 3 R's. Recognize the language that is skewed to take the focus off men and on to women. Once you start noticing it, you will see it all the time. It is everywhere. The second R is reject the way things are currently, the way that they're worded. Just reject it. Reject this status quo. Reject the theory that this is just the way that it is. I've heard my mother say that time and time again. This is just the way it is. This is just the way it is. You know how you make change? You go about changing it. And that's why I ask you to remember the 3rd R, which is resistance. Join us. Join us as we tackle and topple this patriarchal societal system that we are forced to live in, that puts all of the blame on women all of the time. And it takes men out of the equation completely. So what do I mean when I say join the resistance? Fight with us, march with us, work with us. Go to sign4era.org. That's sign the number 4 ERA.org to add your name to demanding the Equal Rights Amendment be put into the Constitution. Ladies, this has been going on for over 100 years. We've been trying to get equal rights in this country, and we still don't have them. There's many people that think that there is an Equal Rights Amendment. There is not. In fact, there's a stat that says 80% of Americans believe there is an Equal Rights Amendment. There is not. Well, there's an amendment. It's just not in the Constitution. So go to sign4era.org. That is one step. That is one thing that you can do. Because if you think about it, none of the rights we currently have were given to us. We had to take them, right? We demanded them. We didn't just wait and to vote, because that's what I hear all the time now. Well, what can I do besides vote? Do you think the women that wanted to vote had the opportunity to just wait to vote in people who would give them the right to vote? No, of course not, because they weren't allowed to vote. So how do you think we got the right to vote? Marches, activists, petitions, fighting for it. That's how things were done. And that's what we need to get back to. We need to let it be known that we are not going to sit here and watch our rights be stripped one after another after another. We have to be the ones to say no more. Now, don't get me wrong. Voting is very important, and I hope that you do vote. I urge you. I demand you to vote. But there's so much more that so many women could be doing to help this cause along, to bring about change faster, to bring about change for your daughters and your granddaughters and your nieces. It's not just about us. It's about the future generations. And as I've mentioned before, as a member of Gen X, we're the ones that dropped the ball. Our mothers and grandmothers fought for our rights to vote, fought for our rights to take out a loan in our own name, to own property, to get abortions. Our mothers and grandmothers and maybe great-grandmothers fought for those rights. And we just watched at least a couple of them dwindle away. We let them take them away from us. And I will not sit by while I see other rights get taken from us. I would like all of our rights restored. Yep, that's what I want. I want all of our rights to be restored to us, and for there to be an amendment in the Constitution that gives us equality in this country, because it is way past time. It is way past time. So we need the same fire and the same commitment that our mothers, grandmothers, and great-grandmothers had. So join us. Go to sign4era.org. Like I said, go to the Hopefulist page. That's hopefulist.com, and shoot me an email. Let me know of anything, that special skills that you have, what you can contribute, what you can do to help. And I will certainly let you know what we could use when it comes to your own particular special skills. Now, I am about to launch a challenge coming up, and I hope that this is something that you guys would be interested in. It's called the Fix It Challenge. It's going to be starting August 5th, and I'm going to get into more details as time goes on, but this is going to be about you, about being the best you, about being the person that you always thought you would be, but somehow haven't ended up that way. The one who's always tired, the one who is always overwhelmed, who is always stressed out. We're going to work on getting that person pushed to the side and bringing out the real you, the happy you, the confident and courageous you. So stay tuned for more details. That is coming up. Like I mentioned, go to hopefulist.com. Let me know what you think about the Fix It Challenge. I'm very excited about it. And meanwhile, I want you to go out there and be badass. We are stronger together, and know that I am always here cheering you on. Thank you for joining me in this conversation. Together, we are better. Please visit my website at hopefulist.com and remember to hit that subscribe or follow button.